Thank you for tuning in to WHID-FM. What has Islam done for me? Please subscribe.
What advice would you give a new Muslim coming in the ranks?
Can I start with that one?
Absolutely.
The first advice I would give them is don't go nowhere.
Right.
That's advice number one. I'll never forget. It was after and shout out to our beloved brother, student minister Carlos Muhammad. One of the reasons why we're so rooted in this great teaching is he's brought every available pioneer.
That's right.
To the rostrum of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in the city of Baltimore. We were having dinner with Minister Rahman, may Allah be pleased with his soul. And one of the student ministers asked him, Brother Rahman, what do you think made Malcolm leave the nation? Rahman said, shit, if you find out, don't tell me, because I don't want to know. And so, now I really share that because look, don't go nowhere. And I gotta share this experience. I don't even think I was registered yet or just newly registered. The first all men's meeting in New York. So we drive up from Baltimore and we get there and I see these line of men wrapping around 2 or 3 times, going around the armory like this. And as Allah's my witness, my mind said these words to me. I'll never leave this. I said a few other things, but I won't, unless I'm asked, I won't go into detail, but I knew then, and so the other thing is, don't ever take personality over the program. Most people who trip, stumble, and fall and lose their way in Islam is because they were attacked by a personality and they didn't handle it well, and they let that personality take them away from the program. There's nothing wrong with the program. The program is right and exact. And also understand, and I give Captain McKeel credit for this. And he said it this way, it's after, a few bumps and lumps in the ranks. He said, well, if you ain't doing nothing to get in trouble, you ain't doing no work. Work.
Yes, sir.
I think he said all the things, right? I think he said all the things. I think the only thing that I remember, and I think I first heard this from Brother Abdul Qadir Muhammad, that's in DC, where he talked about, we want to get clean because our soul says we're supposed to be clean, right? But I don't care how efficient the sink is or how much soap you have, right? Trying to get clean outside of the bathroom is real hard. Just really difficult, right? So stay in the bathroom, right? Stay in here, stay in the process.
For the naysayers who say that the Honorable Brother Mr. Louis Farrakhan teaches hate, he got it from Elijah Muhammad, who teaches hate. How do you deal with that?
Beautiful question. And very, very easily, dear brother. Number one, we were given a very, very important methodology about setting up beachhead behind enemy lines. And we should never forget that teaching and that training. Because to be honest, I am a fruit from the tree of the Nation of Islam. I, Brother Lyle Muhammad, am a student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He is my mentor. He is my teacher. How can you love me and hate that which produced me? And how in your confused mind and thinking can such a profound love come from a teaching of hate? You lost silly rabbit tricks for kids. That's how I deal with it, brother. In other words, the example. But sometimes we have to be patient enough with our people to get to know us. Because their personal relationship with us is a direct reflecting of what they hear about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, what they hear about the Nation of Islam, but what they see and they get from you. it lets them know that there has to be a source of love. And that's what it is.
Praise be to Allah. I think the most impactful, because, we tried a bunch of different ways, right? I used to get very angry and get very and start throwing daggers, right? But then you wind up with a bunch of holes in it that you just can't do anything with, right? You hit the wrong thing, it makes the whole thing toxic, right? So I think what you said, babe, is such a beautiful witness bearing, right? That who you are is the example. And then also, sometimes the answers for people, because hurt people, right? Sometimes the answers for people is this beautiful thing that we learned in, MGT class, and a deeper level of it is self-evaluation, right? Sometimes you can just take questions and question it down to the tap root that really has nothing to do with, because you saying that this brother who's brought nothing but life, you look at him, he gives life personified, is teaching hate. And you're like, teaching hate of what? Where? When? Why? Right? Not any, major, right? And you're like, let's listen to this. Let's do this. Listen, there's a part, it's a series online called The Time of What Must Be Done. You have it? You seen it? Right? You know what? He's got a Twitter account. He got an Instagram account. Look on there and tell me where you see hate. Because what I see when I look is the love that we've been looking for forever. That's what I see.
When you first heard God was a man, was it hard to grasp? And we can start with Brother Lyle this time.
I appreciate that question so much. The most beautiful thing about my understanding and growth and development actually came from the function of our Friday night study groups. And so it was believers. It wasn't necessarily officials in the Nation of Islam. It wasn't necessarily listening to the lecturers, but those study circles and listening to believers like Sister Sylvia Muhammad and Sister Linda Muhammad and Sister Cynthia Muhammad and those students of the word, that made it no other way that God had to be a man. And I thank Allah for the study circles of the Nation of Islam for helping me understand that to the fullest.
Yes, sir. Sis.Izegbe.
Praise be to Allah. I remember, because I was sitting in the pew and Minister Carlos, and I could almost hear the timbre of his voice. I could hear him saying it today from 25 some odd years ago, where he leaned to the mic and said, "It's because God is a man," right? And he paused, and I was like he knew that I was wrangling with it, right? Like, wait, what? And so I sat back, and he said, "I know what y'all gonna say. No, man, he ain't no black man. He said, God is a man." And he said, and not only is he a man, but he's a black man, right? And my first response was absolute. That's not true. That can't be true. This is why they said I was supposed to come here in the first place. This is why is was trying to change stuff around in my mind, and I had hard resistance against it. But by the end of that message, I knew that I had found something. I wasn't exactly sure, and I remember wrangling with it. I was in that orientation class for almost a year, wrangling with, right, all of these concepts. But I knew that I had found a place that I was supposed to be. I would say that it wasn't until maybe a year or so after, right? Almost a year or so after, that I experienced the aha moment that was like, oh, God is a man, and this is why, and I'm from him, right? It took a minute, I won't lie to you, but once Allah made the conditions that truth was revealed to me, there was no other place to be.